So Rutvik is not here, Shravya is here, Ritika is not, and Isha would not be joining. So I think we have a full house. Pranit might drop in any time soon. So, alright, so we have only Arya is a new student here in the class. Everybody else has been part of the class, so you guys have a fair understanding of what we do, how we do. So I'll probably take 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes to quickly walk you guys through what is the format that we follow and where or what kind of involvement you guys would need to have to ensure there's maximum benefit for each and every person in the class. First thing first, as I said, everything is getting recorded on the iPad, not on the screen. So even if you show your face, you're not coming on the YouTube channel. Don't worry about it. And this is recorded, uploaded to YouTube so that we can revise. So most of you know about it. It's only for Arya to be aware. Now, how that video recording helps? I don't prescribe you guys to take notes while I'm teaching. So that you can pay full attention in the class and try following the concepts rather than being worried about taking notes. That is where the video helps you. If you forget something, you can refer back to the video and figure out if there's something that you're missing versus what is taught in the class. Okay? And obviously it becomes a repository for you. I'm not wanting to become a famous YouTuber. I'm only a teacher for you guys, and whatever I do is for you guys to get benefit from that. Okay? Second thing that I wanted to kind of pass on to everybody here, or rather recommend or request, is you guys have to start interacting a little more with each other. Okay. When I say so, what it means is friends are your best resource when it comes to learning something. I'm an old guy, okay? I have learned all these concepts long time ago, and I'm still trying to kind of teach you guys a lot of stuff, which I'll continue doing. Don't worry about it. What I'm trying to say here is, you guys have to start leveraging each other to your benefit. What I mean by that is, if you learn something, share in the group. Say that, okay, I learned something new today. Do you guys want to know about it? If you're facing a problem, post that in the WhatsApp group. Say, okay, there's a question that I'm trying to solve. I'm kind of struggling. Do you guys have a solution for this? Some of those questions will come to me also, which I'll try solving. Don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is, leverage WhatsApp group that I have created, and you all are a member of that, to your benefit. Okay? If you exchange, if you share, that will certainly help, and I'm sure you will see a benefit in doing that. I'm certainly not wanting you guys to be lost in WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a distraction as well, but I'm saying here, this particular group, use it for your benefit. Alright? That is where I want to give a message to you all. Let's get started with today's class. What is that we are trying to learn today? We are starting with Unit 4. Unit 4 of Digital SAT Prep on Khan Academy. So when I say Unit 4, again, you guys might think that why I'm going in a random order, because Unit 1 and 2 we have covered in the past, and I'll come back to that again. But those are lighter ones. You guys as a senior students, I'm sure you are wanting to learn something little more interesting, little more tricky. And Sunarka, I have your questions. I will answer to your questions separately outside the class also. Okay? Just to make sure that I'm not losing track of what you already asked for. Okay? So, and that's an option for each one of you. So if you are facing any problem, struggling with some problem, post that in the group, send it to me, whatever you are comfortable with. Okay? So that way, we try finding a solution to that. So now coming back to this one, why we are starting with Unit 4? Because this is the first chapter which talks about advanced maths. And I'm sure when you guys hear the word advanced, that kind of makes you think, oh, something more interesting, something more difficult. Right? That's what advanced would mean. But interestingly, advanced is not that advanced as it might sound. So let's start with what we are trying to learn. Who all has seen the message that I have posted 10 minutes ago? What all we are going to learn today? Nobody. Okay. We will talk about factorization of quadratic equations and polynomials, which you guys have seen before. So we'll do a revision of that. And some of you who have not, we will look at those concepts one more time. Then we'll talk about radical and rational exponents and find out the relationship between them. If you are able to cover these two topics today, then we will figure out what we are going to learn tomorrow. If something gets moved to next class, then I will publish what all we are going to learn apart from the leftovers from today to the next class. Alright? Anybody have any questions so far? No? And am I speaking slow, fast, okay for you, Arya? Everybody else is used to my speed, but I'm just checking with you.
Yeah, it's all good, sir.
It's all good? Okay. Alright. So let's start with the factorization of expressions. So all of you who have been part of the class before, if I give you guys a quadratic equation like this, 5 squared plus 7x plus or plus 10 equal to 0. Solve it for the value of x. What are the options that you guys remembered from what we have learned before? And again, if you don't remember, that's fine. I'm just trying to figure out who all remembers the options. Okay? Yeah.
Is factoring an option?
Factoring is the option. So basically in the previous classes I have taught that if I have a quadratic equation like this and I have to solve it for x, there are 2-3 options that we have talked about. Let's see who all remembers them, who doesn't, and then I'll come back to kind of explaining that. So Vaibhav, tell me what is the first option?
Sir, first option is 8 times 2.
Say that again.
We need to do 8 times 2.
8 times b.
Wait. Oh, wait, I forgot. No, not 8 times 2. Sir, we need to do sum of AB and then these like equal to AB.
Okay. So first option you are saying that a plus b equals ab. This is one option we'll try. We'll come back to this one and see yeah. A plus b whole square. So you will try finding out the basic formulas that we know about. You will try relating with one of these formulas. That's what you are saying. Okay. What is the third option? Anybody? And kids who have not been again, I call you guys kids, right? You all kids for me. So when I say kids, don't get offended. Here, go ahead.
We can use quadratic equation.
Say that again.
We can use quadratic equation.
Quadratic equation. And what is that?
Negative b plus minus square root b square 4ac.
Okay, go a little slow so that I can note it down.
Negative b plus minus
Okay.
square root
Okay.
and b square 4ac.
Minus 4 is right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and upon 2a.
2a. Okay. All right. Good job. Okay. Who else? Are these the 3 options valid, or you guys can think of any other option as well? Yeah, here.
We can do factoring.
Factorization. So this a plus b equal to ab. That was that option. Yeah.
Splitting the middle.
Splitting them. Yeah. That's what this will help with. I'll come back to this one so that you can relate to what you're saying. I mean, what you're saying versus what I heard from Vaibhav, both are the same actually. Anybody has any other option that you want to try or talk about? Or third, is this covering all the 3 options that we have talked about so far, or we are missing something?
sure.
Okay. So no, I think we have covered these options only. Let's look at those options. Arya, anything that you can recall from your previous experience?
I know how to use the quadratic formula and factoring in this situation.
Okay. All right. So this is something that we have learned in the class. For Dhanushri, anything that we are missing here, beta? Dhanushri, you're mute. I mean, again, I'm just reminding you guys just to make sure that first of all you remember what we have done before versus anything that we are missing here. Okay, I'll take that as a no. Let's go to these options, right? A plus this look at this formula using the factorization and then the quadratic equation solution, right? So what this means is if you have a quadratic equation to solve, you can explore these three options and you can always choose which one works best for you. Okay, let's look at them one by one. So I will first go with my shortcut, which is knowing the basic rule of square. A plus b whole square equals a square plus b square plus 2ab. Everybody knows that. A plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. A minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square, and a square minus b square equals to a plus b times a minus b. Everybody knows this formula, right? There is nothing that I am teaching you guys. Now, whenever I have a quadratic equation, the first thing we will try doing is, can I relate this equation with any of these formulas that we already know? Because that's my shortcut. If I can relate it, done. There's nothing to worry about. So if I get something like x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 0, I can see here x is 2, x is x, and y is, sorry, x is a and y is 2. If I put this, it becomes x squared plus 2ab, sorry, a squared plus 2ab, 2 times x times 2, 2 to the 4, x, and then plus y, b squared. So this is, by looking at this equation, simply I can say, okay, fine, this is x plus 2 whole square. So that means x plus 2 equals 0, and then we get the answer. This is straightforward. Now, another thing that we might want to look at is this one. If you see something like this, say 6x squared plus 24x plus 24. Here also you can always find out, see, you can take the common factor out and then look at the equation. Okay? So this will not look very similar to what you see in the equation here, but when you look at it carefully, you will see that there is a common factor in all the terms, and you can take the common factor out and then you have a simpler, easier equation to look at. So your first attempt should be always look at the equation and see if you have a way to relate that with one of the generic formula that you already know. And if you can relate with them, your job is done. You don't have to worry about it. But this guy, if you look at it now, this is 5x squared plus 7x plus 10. If I take 5, see, if I apply this formula, if I take 5 out, it doesn't fit the bill. Is it a straightforward equation like this? No. That is where we go to the second option. Am I making sense so far?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Savia, Arya, Heel, all the new kids, okay? Because I'm just checking if whatever I'm saying is reaching you guys, yeah?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Now, the first option is gone. With this equation, the first option is not working for us. Then comes the second option. And that is where So let's call this a plus b whole square as generic formula. Okay. So first option is generic formula, which we tried relating with, and that did not work for us. Then comes the factorization technique. And what that says is, look at this quadratic equation like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Here a is nothing but the coefficient of the term which has a power 2. B is nothing but the coefficient of the term which has a power 1. And C is nothing but the coefficient of the term which has power 0 to the variable. Right? Power 0 to the variable. That's what I said. So I can always write this as ax squared plus bx plus c x to the power 0. Yeah? Anything to the power 0 is 1. And we'll prove that in the class also today. Okay? Y is 1. Anything to the power 0 is 1 except 0 itself. And we'll see how is that correct. So my quadratic equation, the standard form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And a is the coefficient of the term which has power 2, b is the coefficient of the term power 1, and c is the coefficient of the term with power 0. Now, what the second factorization method says is, if I look at, now remember, this is A, this is B, and this is C, okay? This one says, A plus, what did I do? Okay. B should be broken, okay, here I'll say this term to split into two parts. Let's say B equals, let's say L plus M, okay. B I'm splitting into two parts, L plus M, okay. And then, now L into M should be equal to, or okay, let's put it this way. Split B into two parts such that A into C, what is that I'm doing? Yeah, okay. Now, let me not try to give a formula here. What it means is, split 7 into two parts such that that is equal to multiplication of these two. Meaning, A into C, what is the value of A into C? That is 5 into 10, 50. Yeah? Now, it says, split 7 into two things, L and M, such that L into M gives you 50. Okay? So, the way we will do it is, now let's look at this. 7. What we have to do is, this 7 should be equal to, split 7 in such a way that it gives you 5 into 10. 50. So now let's look at this. 50, what are the factors for how we can break 50 into multiple parts? 50 equals 50 into 1, this is one option. 2 into 25, this is third option, second option. 5 into 10 is the third option. And I think that's it. That is it. Right? So now, if I split 7, I can split 7. Okay, 50 and 1. If I add these two terms, will I ever get 7? No. If I add or subtract 2 and 25, will I get 7? No. Will I get 7 by adding or subtracting these two terms? Again, no. So this splitting is not an option. I think this equation that I chose was not the correct representation of that one. So somehow this into this equal to sum of these two. That is what you have to figure out. So let me put a different equation first before I kind of take you away to the third option. So let's say if I say 5x squared plus some x plus let's say 10 equal to 0, this will be I'm just trying to find out the right equation where I can apply this. Okay. Alright. So let's look at this one. 2x square plus 5x plus 7. Now 2 7 are 14. 14 will be okay. Yeah. So now look at this. A and C, multiply A into C, that is 2 7 are 14. And now break 5 in such a way that you get 14. So now okay, let me take a step back. So you have a quadratic equation, let's say. What the second factorization option says is multiply these two and whatever value comes, the factor of that should be added in a way to get you this one. So here multiply A and C, that gives you 14. Now what you have to do is break this in a way that gives you 14. So what I will do is 14, I will find out the factors for this one. I can say 14 as 14 to 1 or I can say 14 as 7 into 2. Okay. Now, if I add or subtract 14 and 1, will I get 5? No. If I add or subtract 7 and 2, will I get 5? Yes. So, this is my second option where I can get 5. How I will get that? I can say 2x squared plus, if I say 7x minus 2x plus 7 equals 0. Am I getting something here? So, if you look at these two, 7x minus 2x give me 5. Again, how did we do it? We looked at A and C, multiplied them and found out what is the value. And now, try to find out the factors for this one, which gives me the value of B. Okay? So A into C should give me a B in some form. So that is how we try breaking it. So this is how it became 214, and we looked at the factors of 14, which could be this, and if I add or subtract these two, it gives me a 5. So if I have an equation like this, first thing I will do is multiply these two and see by any means if I can get a 5 here or the value of B. So from approach point of view, see, this is what we learned the previous class, and I was myself kind of fumbling when I was trying to explain this to you guys, right? That is where the practice comes handy. So when you look at a quadratic equation like this, or any equation, so you have to make a judgment whether you can use factorization approach or you have to go for the quadratic equation option, third option. So first is you look at whether it's a straightforward a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, or a square minus b square format. If you can relate it, wonderful. If you cannot, can you take the factor out and then you can relate to the geometric formula? If that is also not working, that is when you go to the second option. And in the second option, the only thing you have to check is look at what is A and what is C. Look at what is A and what is C. Multiply them. And whatever value you get, find out the factor of that number and see by any means you can get this value. By, let's say, if this was not 2 and 7, if it was, let's say, 8 and 17, what would you do? Multiply 17 in 8, it gives you 134. Yeah? Yeah. So this 134, you'll find out how I can factorize 134 to get a 5. If you can, 134, what are the factors of 134? 1 into 134, 2 into 67, and I think that's it. By taking these two numbers, 2 and 67 or 1 and 34, you should try finding out if it will ever be a 5 by doing by doing addition, subtraction or whatever. You will never be able to get to this one. Then this option is gone. That is where when it was 2x plus 7, this actually worked. So take A and C, find out the multiplication of A and C, and then see if you can find out the factors of that number A and C, multiplication of A and C, and then by any means if you can get it here. So let's look at one more question that we can solve, and then we'll go to the third option. Let's say 3x squared plus 7x plus 12. So what I am getting A and C as 3 into 12, that is 36. Now we have to find out factors of 36, which will be 1 into 36, 2 into 18, 3 into 12, 4 into 9, 6 into 6. Now look at these combinations. If I take 1 and 36, will I ever get 7? No ways. 2 and 18, if I take, will I get 7 by adding or subtracting? No way. 3 and 2, 12, if I take, will I ever get 7? No way. 12 minus 3 is 9, 12 plus 3 is 15. I am not going to get 7. 4 and 9, will I ever get a 7? 4 plus 9 is 13, 9 minus 4 is 5. I am not getting a 7. 6 into 6, I mean by adding them I will get a 12, subtracting them I will get a 0. No ways. Right? So if this was 5x, this was a perfect solution for us. Right? So you have to make a judgment very quickly that are you going with the generic formula? Is it applicable? If not, can I do factorization? So here if I have like this, I got 3 into 12, 36, and I looked at the factors of 36. Which one is fitting the bill? 4 and 9. So if I can break 5x as 9x minus 4x, then we are good. So I mean this one, if I do, I'm not changing the value, I'm just breaking it into two parts. Now I can take these two together, and then start finding it out. So here 3x is common, it becomes x minus x plus 3. Sorry. Okay. And then here I take minus 4. And then gives me x minus 3. What happened here? So this is still not a perfect case for factorization, but if it was like this, then that would have been the case probably. Minus 9x plus 4x, then that would have been the perfect case for factorization. Okay. So now, if this is the case, then you will say, okay, fine. This becomes 3x minus 4 multiplied by x minus 3. And then you get two values for x by solving these two. Okay? So 3x minus 4 equals to 0, x minus 3 equals 0, then you get two answers for this one. So again, my selection of the question was not right, but I was just trying to walk you way through the approach. Meaning, first you look at the generic formula, a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a square minus b square. If that is not working, can you factorize by multiplying these two and that becoming, one of the factors giving you this value by adding or subtracting? And then, if these two options are not working, then you will go to the third option. But before I go to the third option, I know I did everything possible to confuse you guys, but are you guys with me so far? Were you able to follow me, or there's still some amount of confusion in the class?
It's easy, sir.
It's easy.
I understand it. We get it.
Okay. How about you, Shravya, Dhanushri, Arya?
Yeah, I understand it.
Understand it?
I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes, please.
So like if we aren't able to find like a factor, would it just be like undefined or like?
So we'll come to that one actually. So that's why I was saying that there are three options. First option was a straightforward case where you can relate it with one of those generic formulas or the rules that we have. A plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a square minus b square. Yeah? That's the easy peasy one, right? Then if that is not working, that is when we look at factorization. Now, the third option is the standard, what do you call? The standard answer for using the quadratic formula itself. Yeah? So, I call it quadratic solution, which says if you have a standard equation like this, and then you have to solve for this one, the value of x will be minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. And this one is called b square minus 4ac is called what? Do you guys remember? Say that again. Discriminant. Right? This is called discriminant. Because if you look at this, minus b by 2a, it remains the same. If by any chance this value b square minus 4ac becomes 0, then you have only one answer for x. Only one value for x. That is why this is called discriminant, because if this value there has some value, then only this discriminates the two answers that you can get for x. So something that is discriminating the answers for x, that is what is called discriminant. Now coming back to your point, Dhanushri, if the discriminant value is undefined, meaning if you ever get b square minus 4ac as a value less than 0 or negative value, you cannot have a square root of a negative value. A square root of a negative value is the undefined state. Okay? So if you ever get b square minus 4ac is less than 0, that is when your discriminant will be less than 0 or undefined. Not less than 0, it will be undefined, because you are trying to find out the square root of a negative number. So here, in the previous equation that we were trying to solve, right, 2x squared minus plus 5x plus 7. This is what we were trying to solve. Let's see if this has an undefined solution or not. If I look at b square minus 4ac, what is b square? 5. 5 square is 25 square. Minus 4ac. 4 into a is 2, into c is 7. Now if you look at this, 5 square is 25, 4 to the 8, 7 is 56. 25 minus 56. Now we know why we were struggling with when we were trying to factorize this, right? Because this had an undefined solution for this one. This equation was not right by itself to get you the right answer for a right value for x. Make sense? So now you guys have a live example of why your teacher was struggling, right? I was trying to solve an equation which has undefined solution actually. If the question is wrong, the solution has to be in line with that. Yeah. So now we have seen a classic example of what is the role discriminant plays. Y tells you whether you will have the valid answer for that for any variable or not. Yeah. So now let's spend 2 minutes on discriminant. If you look at discriminant, right, this is the formula that you get for solving. This is the third option. You can now create an acronym saying GFQ or QFG, whatever. So if you have to solve a quadratic equation, there are one of the three options that you can choose from, and your strategy is QFG or GFQ. You might not want to explore this and then come to this. you might want to say, okay, fine, let me just plug in the value in the quadratic equation, relate to the standard format, and try solving it. I don't want to kind of grapple with different options. So you will start with a Q. And or you will say, okay, fine, no, I want to look at whether it's aligning with one of the standard formulas or not, or the generic formulas or not. And then only I'll go to second or third option. So you can always choose, but this is your trick, QFG or GFQ, whatever you call it, or FQG. Yeah? So this one, here, the third option, the quadratic formula option says that if your standard quadratic equation is this, then the value of x is minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. A is the coefficient of x, x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the coefficient of the third term, which is a constant, or x to the power 0. Yeah? Everybody is so silent. I hope I'm not rushing through things and making you guys more confused, right? Sunarka, Sivatsav,
Yes, sir.
everybody is with me?
Yes, sir.
I might call out some names. That doesn't mean I'm putting you guys on the spot, okay? I'm just making sure that I'm not making you guys sleep. That's it. Yeah? Alright. So here, when you are going for this approach, the third option where it gives you the answer or value for x straight away, you would not want to look at the entire this thing. You would first want to look at the discriminant. What does the discriminant say? What is the value of b squared minus 4ac? B squared minus 4 times a times c. If you get this as a value greater than 0, you know that you have to just plug in these two values and get two values of x. One in the case of plus, one in the case of minus. If you get b squared minus 4ac equals to 0, what does that mean? If my discriminant's value is 0, what does it mean? Let me repeat. So, if the value of the discriminant is 0, that means b squared minus 4ac is 0. What does it mean? There is only one solution for that equation, or there is only one value of x coming out of this equation. Yeah? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, look at this one. When you are solving a quadratic equation, you have to always remember it has a power 2 that can potentially give you two answers, up to two answers. If you are looking at a polynomial equation where x to the power is 3, that can potentially give you up to 3 values of x. If you are looking at an equation where x to the power, the maximum exponent to the x is 4, that can potentially give you 4 answers for x or 4 values of x. Yeah. So here it can give you up to 2 answers because the maximum power is 2. If I am trying to solve, let's say 5x minus 24 equal to 0, what do you see here? There is a power x as 1. Maximum power to x or the variable is 1. That means you can get only one answer by solving this equation, no matter how intelligent you or your teacher is. Okay? You only get one answer, one value of x. If you are looking at an equation where you have power 2, that means you can get up to 2 answers. Up to 2 answers. That doesn't guarantee you 2 answers. When it will not guarantee you 2 answers? When your discriminant is, the value of discriminant is 0, that is when it will tell you that okay, you can potentially get 2 answers, but in this case, since your discriminant's value is 0, you will get only one answer because this whole thing has become of no use. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, when you are going for this third option, third approach, you would not want to look at the whole calculation to find out the value of x. Your first attempt would be, let's find out this thing, because everything else is simple. Yeah? Now let's do one interesting exercise. So for the quadratic equation, again we have not learned anything new. We just need a revision of the three options we have, and we just give it a name. We have done the naming ceremony for the approach. We just call it QFG so that you guys don't forget it. You have quadratic equation formula, b square minus 4ac, the discriminant approach. You have factorization approach, and you have the generic rules or the formula that you have for the quadratic equation: a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, and a square minus b square. We just do the naming of that one. Now, everybody in the world, right, knows that anything to the power 0 is equal to 1, except x equals 0. So if x is not equal to 0, every value of any number in the world to the power 0 will give me a 1. But do you guys know why? Can somebody prove it? Anybody? See, this is a fun exercise, right? I mean, I don't want you guys to think of this like a math. I'm saying that with all that we know about numbers, algebra, whatnot, can somebody tell me? I mean, if I ask you guys, okay, x to the power 0, you'll say what? And I'll agree. But if I say y, can somebody help me prove this? Okay, Arya?
I'm not sure, but I think because like if any number has a power of 0, it's just like the product of no numbers at all. So it's just 1, so it's the product of no numbers.
And you know what? Everybody will, you guys will start scratching your heads. Oh no, this is something that I knew. I just did not bother. When I do it, okay? Do you guys want me to do that? Or anybody wants to take a punt at it? Heat, Savya, Srivatsav, anybody. And it's just about being able to relate what we already know. There's nothing, trust me, I'm not going to teach you anything today when I try proving this x to the power 0 as 1. Dhanushri, do you want to try something creative today?
I'm not sure, but like I think it's just because it is like no level. Like I don't know.
Okay. And I can tell you guys that each one of you know why. Just that you never thought so. Okay? So, Praneeth, look at what I'm doing here. Ready? Okay. So, I said x to the power 0 equals 1. And one of you could have told me, no, I don't believe so. Can you prove it? Let me try proving it. Now if you guys remember, we learned x to the power a into x to the power b gives me x to the power a plus b. This is what we learned in exponents, correct? Everybody with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If I have x to the power a divided by x to the power b, do we know it is x to the power a minus b? Everybody knows that? Everybody agrees to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Now, I will use the same formula here. If I set x to the power 0 as x to the power 2 minus 2, is this correct so far?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
What does it mean? X to the power, this is x to the power a minus b. That I can say x to the power a divided by x to the power b. This is by a, this is by b. Eventually both are same numbers.
Yes, sir.
What will you get by doing this?
You get 1, sir.
Yeah. Now you have a mathematical way of proving that value. Okay? And you can literally play with this. So, I mean, x to the power 0 equals 1. You can say, okay, x to the power 0, I can say x to the power 1 minus 1. That is also fine. So that means x to the power a minus b. That is x to the power a divided by x to the power b. Same value. Yeah. This is relatable, right? I mean, trust me, there's nothing fancy that I've taught you guys. Just that you had not thought on these lines. That's it. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Makes sense? Was this interesting? And there's even a more interesting story to it. And I had never bothered to prove this, okay? I was doing, puja one day, and during that time I was just sitting and thinking, okay? Because, in the junior classes, when I was teaching them exponents, I told them that x to the power 0 is 1, and that everybody knows. And one curious child asked me why. And somehow I dodged that question, said, okay, fine, I'll come back to you. Let me finish what we have planned for today, I'll come back to you. And I was wondering how I can prove that. Because there's nowhere, I mean, in my life so far, I have not seen somebody proving it actually. So I was sitting, just doing my regular worship. In fact, my wife was doing it, I was just sitting there. And I was thinking, how would I prove this child that x to the power 0 is 1? And then this one clicked, that I can relate to this. So likewise, all the formulas, concepts, theories that we are learning, trust me, there's not even a single thing that you can solve in only one way. You can always solve the things in multiple ways. It's just a matter of which one you like more, which one clicks when you're trying to solve. So that's why I keep asking you guys to pay attention, don't take notes, don't worry about taking notes, because everything is there for you guys to refer to it later on. So I will keep on doing this kind of fun activity just to make sure that whatever we do here in the class, there's nothing that your teacher is mandating you to memorize. If I ever do so, please stop me. Say that, sir, you have just told this formula and can you prove this? There might be some formulas that I might not be able to prove because that will come in the next level of learning that we'll do. If you ask me what is the volume of sphere, I'll say 4 by 3 pi r cube. But if you ask me how is that proved, I cannot prove it here because that will need a lot of concepts to relate to from calculus side of things. So that's what I'm saying. But 99% of the formulas that I will teach you guys or tell you guys, I have no other ways to hide and not explain you how that formula came into existence. And that is what we'll keep on doing in the class. So before we move on, any questions so far? Sunarka, Dhanusri, Shravya, Heer, Vaibhav, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
So far good? Okay. Now, let me show you guys the power of friendship. So, I will probably spend 2 minutes to put a question that Sunarka had sent to me, okay? And I told Sunarka that I will solve that, which I'll anyways do. But let's see, anybody in the class wants to solve that problem. Let me see where this question is. Okay. So, let me put this one of the questions, okay? So this is a line, this is another line. This is M, and I want everybody, each one of you to look at the question and see who can solve it. If you cannot solve it, that's fine. I just want to show you guys the power of you all being in one place, okay? This says there are two line segments, okay? LJ and MM, okay? Where if LK, the line segment, okay. Can someone tell me what does this sign mean?
Is it congruent?
Sorry?
Congruency?
It cannot be congruence, right? If it is congruent, yeah, sorry.
Similar?
Similar is what I would interpret, but honestly speaking, I have not gone to this question again, okay? So I'm just trying to see if anybody in the class can answer that. What does this sign mean? Naka, do you know?
Congruence, right?
Congruence? Okay. So, yeah, I think you're right. You guys, so Dhanushri, sorry about that. That's a symbol for congruence also. I myself have taught you guys that triangle this and triangle this are congruent, and I myself forgot the symbol. Yeah. So thank you for waking me up. Alright. So this question says if LK is congruent with MK. So LK is congruent with MK. Okay. And LK, this was the first information, and then second information was LK equals 7x minus 10. So LK is congruent with MK. Now you guys tell me, what exactly do we mean by two line segments being congruent? It has same length. That's it. Yeah? Athar, you were saying something?
No, I was just gonna say sister.
Yeah. Now, so look at this one. LK is congruent with MK, meaning this line is congruent with this one. Okay, line segment, sorry. Now, LK, value of LK is 7x minus 10 and Kn. Kn equals x plus 3. Mn equals 9x minus 11 and Kj equals 28. Find Lj. So now look at this one. What we have to find out is Lj, here to here, this length, okay? Now look at what all are given to us. It says Lk is congruent with Mk. So Lk is congruent with Mk, meaning this and this has same length. Okay? Now it says Lk here to here is 7x minus 10. Yeah? Kn here to here is x plus 3. Okay? This part. So Sunarka, sorry but I did not prepare for this one, okay? I'm just doing it on the fly. And I want to make you guys see if I'm reading the question again and again with all that we know, are we able to prove that or not? Are we able to solve it or not? Okay? And I'm sure one of us in this group, apart from me, will also be able to solve it. Okay? So let's I'm just putting everything on the sketch on the board here. We have to find out this length Lj, which is made of Lk here to here and this one. Okay? Now it says Lk, this is congruent with Mk. So this and this are same. Now we got 7x minus 10. So this will also be 7x minus 10. You will agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now Kn is x plus 3. Kn is x plus 3. Okay, fine. Mn here to here is 9x minus 11. Okay? And Kj, K to J, here to here is how much? 28. So look at this equation. You know the length of this line segment. You know this segment is equal to this one. You have length of this side also. Right? So now let's look at this. This part is how much? 7x minus 10 because this is congruent with this one. So this is 7x minus 10 and this is x plus 3. If I add these two, this is what I should get. Right? Are you guys with me so far? This is a line segment which is 7x minus 10 because this is congruent with this, right? And this one is given as x plus 3 in the question itself. So if I add these two, then I should get this whole line, right? That means this part 7x minus 10 plus this part, which is x plus 3, equals the whole line, which is given as 9x minus 11. Yeah? I'm sorry? Okay. So you already got the answer also. That's fine. But as I keep saying, right, I don't care about the answer. Why? Because the process part. If you guys know the process, if you are comfortable with the process, answers you will get on your fingertips like this. Yeah? Everybody with me so far?
Yes, sir.
And look at how unprepared your teacher is. I did not look at the question. I was not even able to recall that this is a sign for congruence, right? And Sunarka, this question that you have sent me, right? Now look at this one. Does this look very straightforward now?
Yes, sir.
It does? So, that ties back to the formula that I tell you guys. The magical formula is trusting yourself, reading the question again and again. This is exactly what I did. I read the question again and again. Right? I asked myself, I asked you guys, what is the symbol for this one? What this symbol means? Right? Because I had myself forgotten. And then I just drew it on the board. I just broke it down while reading it. And now you guys see what the answer is. Right? And now I have this equation which will give me the value of x. What will I do? I know this whole length is this plus this. This one we know 28. Now once we find the value of x here, we'll substitute in this part of the equation. That gives you the length of this segment, and then this segment plus this segment is together is what we were trying to find out. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and this is a classic example. So whenever you go for any exam, when you are coming across a question, right? The magic trick is read the question once, twice and 3 times. And based on whatever you read, you plot it, you draw it. And once you do that, you will see that 80% of the questions, 80 or 90% of the questions will become half difficult versus what it was looking like in the beginning. Yeah? It will become half difficult. I'm not denying the fact that we need to know the formula, we have to learn a lot of concepts. But what that means is, just knowing that may not be sufficient. Always do the rough work. Whatever you understand, you draw it on a piece of paper, read the question a couple of times, and you will see the question has become much easier, much less difficult than what it was looking before. Yeah. So we talked about. So Aditi has already joined from the next class. So let me just do a quick recap of what all we learned. We learned nothing. We just practiced or did a recap of the 3 approaches that we follow for solving a quadratic equation or expression. Then we looked at how do we find out something to the power 0 gives me a 1. Then we tried solving one simple algebra problem where it was a situation where we came across an unknown problem which we have not seen before. Just by reading it a couple of times and then plotting it, we were able to solve it. So these are some of the approaches that you would want to carry with yourself. Make sure that every question that you come across, you get the habit of reading it a couple of times. And we always tend to think that, okay, I'm doing mind math, I can do faster. But eventually, mind math is not sufficient. Mind math only helps you with faster calculation, not for solving the problem. If you see an equation over and over again and you think that by doing mind math you can solve it, I would probably not agree 100%. Yeah? Alright? Any questions?